I'm ready when you are.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Wednesday Call Live! Filmed in beautiful Burlington, North Carolina in front of a large studio audience. Now, let's hear it for our President and CEO, Andy Albright!
Okay, thank y'all. Wow, amplification, I love it. All right. Good to see y'all in these COVID times. But we're all healthy here, right? We're all good here. So it's good to be back in Burlington. I am clearly living in Florida now, and a lot of people thought it was a head fake to trick the government, and I was like, nope, I'm actually living there, and I like it there a lot. We're on Treasure Island, part of St. Pete, and we live right on the ocean, and almost right on the intercoastal waterway also, because the island's so narrow where we stay. It's 100 yards from the beach to the intercoastal, and we've got a house on the intercoastal and a house on the beach. So I'm just constantly walking around talking to people and having a good time. Don't get me wrong, a large part of the time I'm on my headset talking to our top leaders, Alex Abian and Paul Roberts and Fitz and these guys, talking them through what we do, and as I was telling Hannah, reminding them of things they already know. Teaching them something, but more often I'm reminding my top guys what they already know and trying to keep them on the right subject. So today I've got a ton of stuff to cover with you. I'm hoping I'll hit most of it. And I know we're broadcasting live. I got to keep that. I got to remember that. This book we have been working on a while. It's been a collaboration of a ghostwriter that does a lot of research for us and does some writing on, this is on, what is this on, IULs or annuities? Annuities. On annuities. And we've bought books from Patrick Kelly, we've bought books from Vagnos, we bought them from a lot of people. We said we want to do one that's ours and we own it, so it's the Alliance's book. And so we got a lot of people to put in ideas, thoughts, edits. Matt Hefner has kind of coordinated the whole thing. So this book, Safe Money, is going to be coming out soon. If you would like to read it ahead of time and make comments, we can get you a digital copy. And if you are an annuity producer or an agency manager, now a wannabe annuity producer don't count. You got to be writing annuities and producing them. Then if that describes you and you would like to be the co-author of this book, then you can do it and it's a like, you won't believe it. Like, people are like, what am I going to have to pay like $2,000 or $1,000 to become an author of a book? So if you know Jack Canfield, who wrote the Success Principles, if you do it with him, it'll cost you $2,500 and you get like 2 books. And then he'll sell you another 20 books for $20 a piece or something. So if you've heard stories like that, this is crazy. What we're doing is, if you commit to 250 books, we'll give them to you for $1 a piece, and you are the co-author, and your name will be in the book. So a bunch of people are like, I'm going to be a co-author of a book, and my mom and daddy's going to be giving my book out. Then we're going to sell some annuities. If you do not do that, the books will not be expensive. It's going to have a retail of like $9.95 will be the retail on the book, but we'll sell them to agents at like $3 a piece, something like that, if you're not a co-author, if you just want one. And then Mac's going to have a deal. If you buy 50 of them, you get a discount if you buy 100 of them, so if you're giving them to people. So if you want to be a co-author, make sure you get with one of our staff and say, I want to be a co-author, I want to commit to 250 of them up front, and your name will be in the book with some other names. So it's really, I've used them so many times because people, when you're talking about annuities, you need credibility. So if you're a co-author of a book or if your company has a book, let them read it. It's a lot of simple information that'll push them over the edge to get them to commit to buy an annuity. I am so fired up about these PHMA, Pet Health Matching Accounts. You can recruit now and tell people no license required. You can sell pet health matching accounts. You put in, it's pretty crazy. I don't know if y'all know how this works, but you put in $5,000 on your pet health card. So your credit card. So you pay in $5,000. The card is now worth $10,000, and you can use the card for any pet health care products. And so you're getting 50% off on all of it. And it's some pretty good commission ongoing for anybody that's putting money into the card. Have you seen this? You have? Who hadn't seen it? Have you seen it? You've seen it? It's pretty cool. Are you? Y'all know who you are. You're Sharp. Right? I knew I recognized you. I was like, dang, I know that guy. Did you sell us any light bulbs? I thought you did. It looks like they're still working. Good job. It's not Chad, Trip. Yeah. So let's see. Other big stuff that I want to talk about. Oh, Foresters continues to throw contests at us. One thing that nationwide, one thing I've been telling everybody is don't forget the very simple basics that we do, which is mortgage protection and final expense, Forester CFG. You write these policies, they get issued, they're easy. It's what I started out doing 20 years ago, and about had a heart attack going, a freaking caveman could sell this. Like a absolute dimwit, I can't even say all the things I'm thinking, but it's just not good words. Dum-dums could sell this stuff. And people say, well, why do you want me to keep doing it? Because it's easy. Unless you're looking for a difficult way to make a living. This is an easy way to make a living. But people have found another strategy of making money with us in the 403B market. And you can sell annuities and you can sell IULs, and it is, some are saying it's tricky. Okay, so what I'm saying is stick with the basics, mortgage protection, final expense. If you want to start learning something else, learn it. I'm okay with that. We have some people that are killing it with it. But one of the things that we got away from is selling Foresters. And one of the things we talked about yesterday is why are we not selling smart UL? You see, right off the bat, you should know it's smart to sell this product because it's a smart UL. And you're selling people IULs. And indexed UL does not sound as smart UL. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So let me tell you the smartness about selling the smart UL. You get paid a higher commission. I don't know about y'all, but this has always been a big deal with me. You're like, oh, you're going to pay me more to sell that one? Yes. I like that one. And people say, and I have talked to people, and I was telling Hannah, that's something else I want to talk to you. She's like you have opinions about stuff, and I think it's good, but it's bad. Like my opinions. I don't have opinions about some of the things you have an opinion about. I don't have an opinion. I'm looking for have a good time, make you a bunch of money, and if I have a bunch of money, I'll have a better time. If it ain't a quality time, then I'm not going to do it. And if I'm not making money with it, I'm not going to do it. Does that make any sense? And then people say, where's God in that formula? I go, he's at the top. What do you want? It's a big pyramid, and he's at the top. I don't know what to tell you. Well, how do you keep him number one in your life? I don't have to keep him number one. He does that. He's God. Does that make sense? So, all right, I'm losing you. Let's go back to basics, Foresters, and final expense. Easy, Chris. It's simple. But if you're going to sell para or 403B, consider smart UL. Why? Because you make more money. It gets issued more often, and it gets issued faster. Does that make sense? Simple. So Foresters is all the time throwing bonuses at us, okay? Well, this one is a silly one. If you go on a 403B appointment with a paralead and you sell Smart UL, they're going to give you this nice shirt. Okay. Now I ain't doing it for the shirt. I'll be honest with you, but they're going to give away some shirts if you'll start selling this these para appointments. Start selling the Smart UL. You're going to get paid more money. It's going to be more than enough to buy your own shirt. Does that make sense? And if you have, if 10% more of the policies get issued than if you tried to get F&G, and I like F&G, I love F&G. We're having a meeting with them. That's another thing I'd tell you, is we're having a training the last day of this month, no, the first day of October, okay? In Florida, almost on my island. It's real close. I can see the Don Cesar from my island. So I love F&G. I got no problem with NLG, National Life Group. I do think it's weird that their paper says LSW, but they want you to call them NLG. I'm like, those letters are not close. It's Life of Southwest paper, and I'm suspicious of them because of that. You know what I mean? Like, you probably don't, but I just like, that's weird. But you can't tell them anything. They're very smart, and you can't argue with them, so I just do what they say. I'll call them NLG. It make sense? So you imagine if you're telling a client you're going to sell them a Index Universal Life, not a Smart UL, then you tell them it's Life of Southwest, and then you start talking about NLG, you're going to confuse them. You need to keep it simple and sell them something smart. Okay? And you get a shirt on top of that. On top of that, Forrester's is doing a contest these 2 months, and they're giving away, I think it's $150,000 in cash in 2 months. The top 30 producers with Forrester's gets a free iPad. So you get paid more, you get a free iPad, and there's cash bonuses. Number 1 in the country, which I'm voting for Stephanie Rodriguez and Brian Rojas. Did you kill it with Forrester's this week, Beth? Somebody did some good. So here's the rub. I don't like this part. It's not just our company. Forrester's is running this contest with other companies across the country that sell Forrester's. So the number 1 of all of them in the next 2 months gets $4,000. Y'all see why I'm saying like sell Forrester's? It's easier to issue. They give us more money. Okay. Is anybody in here doing? Well, Russell started to do it. Is anybody else doing the 403B stuff? Okay. You doing? Kyle, you think it's possible you can sell them a smart UL? Did I give you enough reasons? A smart reason. A lot of smart reasons. That's a good answer. Let's see if I can tell you. We're running go to Band or check with your manager if you would like to attend this training. Now, if you won the contest, the F&G contest, the 31st of September, we're going to have a get-together in my suite at the Don Cesar. Don Cesar is a fabulous hotel, and the suite's out of control, on top of the roof, deck, looking over the ocean. It's going to be crazy. Sunset. And Jane is going to be with me hanging out with the winners. The winners are Marvin Otsoy and his wife Julissa, James and Jane Hill, Orizu Amaka. I think it's Amaka Orizu. And Chris Baldwin and his bride Vicki Baldwin. Miles Gatos will be there. Jeremy and Amy Patton are coming in from Texas. Paul and Sam Menachino are going to be there. Marilyn Martin Ward will be there. Jason and Tawny Carey. Marty Gonzalez, Brandon and Ashley Beal are there on a special invitation invite. Justin and Sydney Balick, same thing, special invite by me. They'll be hanging out up in our suite. Kelly Rayborn from Medico will be there. Steve Saunders, who's the Senior Vice President of F&G, will be there. Gina Hawks will be there. Ivy Wilson, who is our Medicare, MedAdvantage, she'll be there. Billy Chavis will be taking pictures. That's very important. People want to hang out with Billy. Ashlyn Davis will be there talking about leads, and Robbie Kraft will be there talking about ARC. So that hangout is for only those that I named. The next day from 9 a.m. until 5 p.m., it'll be all hands-on training about Index Universal Life. By the way, Chris, I don't know if I said his name, but Chris Norris will be there also with BAM, talking about annuities. So we'll train from 9 to 5. This select group will go to dinner. Actually, we're going to a party at my house, and we'll have dinner at my house, and then the next morning, 9 to 12, it'll be more training. So depending on where your life is, money-wise, and how far you are from St. Petersburg, Florida, come to this meeting. So I think, and we've got about 60 additional people that have signed up, and some really great people to hang out with, and some training if you want to be there. So that's September 1st and 2nd. That training is going to be big. All right. I'm not sure the order that we pull it up, but can we pull up the Super PAC? Is that an option? Who won the Super PAC? Or do I just call it out? So y'all know what Super PAC is? It's fast promotions. Mark Hutchinson issued $77,000 in premium last month. That's a platinum producer. He did it 2 months in a row, over $75,000, which gets him up to 120% contract immediately. Megan Wood did $74,000 2 times in a row. That gets her at Diamond, gets her to 115% contract immediately. Megan and Jonathan Yakey did $52,000. Ruby, that gets him at Ruby. Billy Crane qualified as Pearl, which is $47,000. James and Jane Hill qualified Gold. Stephanie Rodriguez, who's a brand new agent, $35,000 issued. I'm so impressed with what she's doing. And she won Forrester's $4,000. Joseph Tu, who's been absolutely kicking butt and taking names, he did $35,000, got him to a 90% contract. And the crazy thing is, Joseph is showing up as one of the top recruiters in the country, and he's brand new with us. And he kind of flies in that face of me saying that you got to be 26 years old or 25-year-old. I think he's in his 40s or early 50s. Do you know? 40s? He's in his mid-40s, comes on, gets started, and is beating everybody's butt in recruiting and selling. Mia Fennell, $32,000. She's been kicking butt, taking name. Patzer has just turned it on since the first of the year. At Gold Producer, $30,000. Justin Sidney Balick, $30,000. Silver Producers, Mike and Michelle Alleman, Silver Producers. That is the mother of Megan Yakey, and mother and father of Megan Yakey, who married Jonathan, and he's kicking butt. Jeff Turner, who just got engaged to Kelly Haney, by the way, he issue paid $28,000. Silver Producer. Adam Johnson, $28,000. Jacob Bell Kraus, $24,000. Olga and Jason Mathis, $23,000. Jeremy Edwards, $23,000. These are all bronze producers, over $20,000. Dan and Diana Mirdo, bronze producers at $21,000, and Robert Wilson, $21,000. Bronze producer. That is, I'm fired up about that. Okay, so these fast promotions, I like that. I like to see people jump straight to the top. Oh, I want to do this for you. How about this? This week is what's today's date? 9th. So this is through the 7th. 4 days of reporting. Kyle and Janina Wilson have already paid $23,000 this week. Megan Wood has already issued $22,000 this week. Jake and Bell Kraus already issued $21,000 this week. Stephen Mamoridis already $20,000 this week. Evan Patzer $14,000 this week. Sebastian Chambers, who is brand new to the company, has already issued $11,000 this week. He is recruited by Terry Edwards. Pull up a marker for me, Billy, where I can draw. Can you do that, or do I need to do it? I want to tell y'all something. This is free part of training. It wasn't scheduled, so I'm not going to charge extra. So don't get nervous like, oh, this is inexpensive. I want to tell you this. The way we draw our group out, we go like, this is Andy's group, and I've hired people like, let's say, Fitzgerald, right? And you go like, yeah, he hired Fitz, and that's how he's, got a big business. And he hired Adam Katz, right? He hired Adam Katz, right? That's what people see. They go like, I'm going to hire people and get rich. I need to work with you on this, okay? I have never, well, that's wrong. I've been hiring people, Andy, I've been hiring people to build this business. I'll hire this guy, and this guy, and this guy, and this guy, and this guy. Can y'all, like, I'm hiring people, right? Y'all understand hiring people? Have you hired anybody? Okay. Have you ever hired anybody and they've sold insurance and they're still with you and kicking butt and taking names? No. Me neither. Ever. Like, everybody thinks I hired people when they started selling. What's your name? John. I've been doing this for 20 years. Before that, 7 years, maybe a little more than 7. Let's just go with 27 years. I've been hiring people in schemes, okay? And never, almost never have I hired anybody and they stuck with me and did it. So how do I get them? I do want a disclaimer. I've hired one guy that did it. One, ever. Stephen Davies. I have 27 years. Evan, did you know that? Have you ever heard that before? Then how in the world did I build this business? How do I have a big business? Do we have any mics that work? Do you know?
It's because they kept hiring and finding more people.
No. Most of them were terrible. Do you know? You don't know? Do you know, Beth? Who knows? You know, Clay. Tell them how I've got a business.
Depth. MC
Depth.
backup.
Huh?
MC backup. Depth.
MC
Get
backup
number.
depth. So her dad is Adam Katz. He's one of the most successful people that I've hired. Let me tell you how this worked. 27 or 28 years ago, we got in this scheme called Amway, okay? It's a multi-billion-dollar, a lot of people made hundreds of millions of dollars. And we hired an 18-year-old kid named something. I should know his name. My wife, Adam, would know. 18-year-old kid. Now, keep in mind, I would have only been 27, okay? So that must mean it was 29 years or 28 years ago, 29 years ago, that we hired an 18-year-old kid. I think his name was Mike. I don't know. Mike, that's not his name. He hired his mom, Anne Marie. I know Anne Marie. And then Anne Marie was messing around with the principal of the school. And he give hell to one of our guys, a friend of ours called Adam Katz. Okay? So I hired this kid who never do anything, but his mama got in because she felt sorry for him. You with me? And then she told Adam Katz that he should talk to us. So they all quit. It kind of makes no sense. But here's a lot of people do this right here. They hire them and they quit, and they hire them and they quit, and they hire them and they quit, hire them and they quit, and they hire them and they quit, and hire them and they quit, and they hire them and they quit, and then they get very frustrated because nobody does it. I go like, I could have told you that. Nobody's going to do it, but somebody's going to do it every single time. Sometimes it goes 7, 8, 10, 12 deep. Now, what you said, Evan, was that this person hires other people. And so you're kind of right, because the 18-year-old hired his mama, but he didn't really hire anybody. You know what I'm saying? He was not good. He just, but I was immediately a friend of hers, and then I was a friend of his. So I call it, I drop down under people quickly and find the connection. We call it driving depth. Clay said, I'll hire this person right here and I'll get them to do MC backup, which is a download to their cell phone, and they download and they give me every name in their phone book. So then what happens is I call those people and I hire these people. I do something else called text dialing, and it works like this. I'll hire this guy, and I'll say, hey, look, do you think this is a good program? And these guys will be like, yeah. What'd you say your name was? Don? John, John. I'll say, John, does this sound like a good deal? Who hired you, John? Kyle Cater. All right, so I'll go to you. I'll say, John, man, it sounds like a pretty good deal. And I have this long process I'll go through, but basically I'll say, look, have you called all your friends and told them about this business? I don't think any of them will do it. Do you? I don't either. So how about this? I'll bet you that somebody's going to say this. I bet you, whatever amount you want to bet, you just got to be willing to pay when I win. Here's what it is. I'll talk to a guy on your phone, like his phone number in there, and he'll tell you that he was praying for something, and then we called him right after he prayed. Like he'll be like, I was praying last night. I told my preacher, I told my wife, I was naked in the bathroom, laying on the ceramic floor, thinking, what am I going to do with my life? And you called me right after that. And you'll be like, how much? Whatever the bet is. Like, you think nobody will do that. I'm telling you it'll happen. It's so crazy. I've been doing this for like 27 years. So here's the way we're going to do it. You text them. I'll give you the script. The script goes like this. You tell me how you would word it, but it goes like this. Hey, Bob, I'm doing some business with a guy in North Carolina, and I thought you might be interested. Have you got a minute? And then you put their name in it. Well, you cut it, paste it to another guy, and send it to him, and then just keep doing it. Okay? Does that make sense? And then, so if I hired Beth, I would say, Beth, will you do the same thing? And she'll say, yeah. What's your name? Francisca. Where do you work? In the lead department? Lead department or PC? ABTF. Okay. All right, so Francisca, would you do this with me? And you text your friends the little script like that. And if you want to do it different, tell me what script you use. But I might go like, we got to keep it simple. And we're not trying to sneak up on them. We're not trying to be sneaky. We're straight up. Doing some business. Have you got a minute to talk business? Not are you interested. Don't say that. I say, do you have a minute to talk business? Okay? And so go. And so you start texting yours, and you start texting yours. You say, hey, one says interested. He wants to talk. I go, all right, give me your phone. So I call them, and I talk to them right then. Does that make sense? So that's called text dialing. Okay? Keep in mind, I'm good at this, and I've only had one in 27 years. So you hire 5 people, and you say none of them do it, and I'm frustrated. I go like, you're right on course. I've never had anybody successful. How'd you do with text dialing? And you go, well, I don't know how to do that. I explained it just then. I don't know how you know how to do it now. Right? And then I'll tell you, do you know anybody? Have you talked to anybody? Have you talked to anybody? Girlfriend, mama, daddy, anybody about this business? Yes. You have? Who you talk? Let's have the mic. Who have you talked to?
I've talked to all my wife, my neighbors.
What'd your wife say?
My wife? She's happy for me.
Is she watching this show, you reckon?
Hopefully.
Hopefully? Did you send her a link?
Yes. Okay.
All right. What's her name?
Amber.
Hey, Amber! What's happening? So she's happy for you?
Yes, sir.
Did she have brothers or sisters or anything like that?
No, she's only child.
Only child. Okay, did you talk to your daddy too?
Yes, sir.
What'd he say?
Are you sure you want to do this?
What's he do?
He's a commercial HVAC installer.
Okay. Did you ask him, did he want to do it?
Yes.
What'd he say?
Said no.
Okay.
Said he's too old.
How old is he?
Late 50s.
Yeah, that's definitely too old.
No, it's not.
I'm kidding, but has anybody said they're kind of interested?
Negative.
Okay, so you got negatives all the way.
Roger.
Okay, cool. Is Amber going to help you? What's she do for a living?
Stay-at-home mom.
Okay, you see how I'm working? I'm finding stuff out. How many kids you got?
2.
How old are they?
7 and 5.
7 and 5. So I have a 25-year-old daughter and a 22-year-old son. You all gonna have any more? Or you sticking with 2?
I'm done.
2, yeah.
Yep, 2.
So, but you hadn't called all the people in your list.
Negative.
Okay. So, y'all see how this works? So, you say, do you think he's not going to do it? Well, all I know is I've never had anybody that I hired. Now, I didn't hire you, so you could be successful. But if I'm Kyle, I'm thinking, oh, God, I've not had anybody be successful. I'm going to try to hire somebody underneath him. Does that make sense? You understand you get higher commissions.
Yes, sir.
If you have people underneath you or on your team, right? You also get a percentage override.
Yep.
And you own a business. You could become a partner of mine. We would buy your company, give you a big check, pay you a big salary, have stock in the company. You can do that if you hire other people, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I'd love to have a conversation with your dad too about he's HC. Does he have a team of people?
He works for a company. So
He works for a company.
couple people of him.
Is he like a supervisor or something?
Nah, just a regular worker.
Just a regular worker?
Yep.
Have you asked him, like when he asked me, is like, you want to do insurance? I would be like, seriously? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'd be like, you decided to work on air conditions. I mean, you know what I'm saying? If it's my daddy. Now, if I just met him, I'd be nice to him. But if it's my daddy, I would be a smart ass. I would be like, seriously?
True.
You know? I'd be like, seriously? You picked that? And then he would say, well, somebody's always going to need it. And like, yeah, and they're never going to pay you a lot of money. I understand. I mean, you're my daddy. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't say that if I'm trying to recruit him. As a matter of fact, I tell everybody, when I was trying to decide what to do, I was thinking air condition, plumber, pipe fitter, something like that, you know, because nobody wants to do it. So I was like, I'll do that. And then I get me a pyramid of people doing pipe fitting and stuff and get rich. That's what I was thinking. Mm-hmm. And it probably would have. But I don't like my fingers getting pinched. Like, I hate that. Y'all know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah.
His friend of mine, he said he was going to be a air conditioned, and he went out there on a job, and he was crawling. He was terrified of snakes. And he's crawling up under the building, a house, you know, because you can't crawl in down like this because it's too low, you know, you couldn't turn over. So he was crawling on his back, and he's shimmying through the air. And he got up about 15 feet up under the house, and he felt back on his leg right there. This guy took a needle nose pliers and went, snake! and pinched him like that. He said he levitated off the ground. See what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
And you know what I'm talking about? That was Larry Winters. And I thought, I'm not going to be an air conditioning guy. I don't like to get up under them snakes. I don't like spiders or spider webs. Anytime I hit a spider web, I'm thinking spider. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? So this is how I work it. Like this is what I call working. My wife always says to me, she says, you work all the time. I'd be like, I'm talking about AC. You know what I mean? I'm talking about air conditioning. But I'll talk to a person like you until I get you comfortable enough that you do this deal with the text dialing. Does that make sense, Beth? Very tricky, am I? You know? I am. But I've been doing this for a long time, and so then we would just start texting, and we should do that with you, Francisca. Is that right? Francisca, we should do that. Has anybody tried to do that with you yet? Text dial? Has Chris Hill or Robbie Kraft? Y'all should do that with her. You should text dial. Just, you know, get around, staff, do it. And if she says, I don't want to do it, you'd be like, well, whatever. You know. Does this make sense?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I didn't mean to get off on the subject, but I thought it was very important because I've had some people get frustrated, and Chris Hill was like, you know, he reminded me of that this morning, and I was like, we should tell everybody that and kind of remind them. But you see what I'm saying, Kyle? But see, Here's what people don't understand this about me, John. I'm a pessimist. They think I'm an optimist, because I am, but I'm a pessimist. Okay? I read this book one time called, I think I read a book. It's called A Man's Search for Meaning, or something like that. Or maybe that's not the name of the book. But it was this guy, and he was in prison in World War II. And everybody said, "You think we'll get out by Christmas?" He said, "Hell no, we ain't get out by Christmas. We're going to be in here stirring nails in water and trying to get some metal in our body and some nutrients." And everybody like, "You're a pessimist." He's like, "Oh, I just don't think we'll get out by Christmas." And people would die because they get upset because Christmas they didn't get out. And then they say like, New Year's I'm going to get out, and Easter will get out. He'd be like, we'll get out, but I don't think it's going to be. And then when he got out, he's like, "Man, I got out quicker than I thought I would." But he was alive because he was such a pessimist. Does that make sense? So the reason I have depth is because I'm such a pessimist. I don't think anybody's going to succeed, so I'm always working depth. And I always think I'm going to find somebody in depth, which is optimistic. But the only thing about depth is it never ends. So everybody like, "You got one more deep, you think he's going to do it?" I said, "Probably not." And then I get one more deep, "You think he's going to do it?" I said, "I doubt it." You know what I'm saying? So I never get, I'm seldom disappointed. Does that make sense? A lot of people say, "How come you don't get disappointed?" I go, "I didn't expect him to do anything." But you know what I'm saying? But when I talk to you, you're like, "He thinks I'm great. He thinks I'm going to do it." I'm thinking, I doubt it. Does that make any sense?
Yes.
It's such a contradiction, isn't it? I heard this, though, Trip. Somebody told me, well, a rich person told me this. And that's another thing I was going to tell you, Hannah, is I always believe people that are rich, not poor people. And you say, "Well, poor people know stuff." I go like, "Well, I don't want to know what they know, because then if I know what they do, I might do what they did, and I might get what they got, and I don't want what they got." Does that make sense? You go like, "Well, some people are happy that are not rich." I go, "Who? Tell me." And they go, "This guy." I don't want to talk to him. Why? I'm a judge. That's another thing. I'm judgmental. Does that make sense? You shouldn't be judgmental. I'm like, "Oh, well, it worked out pretty good for me." I'm judgmental. I don't want, if somebody that don't have it, I don't want to know what they think. Does that make sense? Like, I don't care. My son asked me something. He was asking me about some poor people about something. I said, don't think about it. Because you only got so much time to think. You know what I mean? And then some people go like, "You're uppity because you only talk to poor people." I go, no. I'm just like a normal old guy. Just let's get some, peanut butter crackers, some milk, drink a beer with you, shoot something, fry something. I'm not good with that. I just don't want to have to do the budgeting y'all do. A lot of y'all do that budgeting stuff. Oh, I'm not good at that. You understand what I'm saying? It's like, should I buy it or not buy it? I'm going like, buy 2, get 3. You know what I'm saying? Like just that. Does that make sense to you? I just don't want to be. I don't want to have to strategize on what to do with little money. You know what I mean? All right, I got to move on. People are looking at me like he ain't telling us anything today. Kyle, this help you? It's called work, but it's not what people think. It's Lucero's. This has got to help y'all. You got to understand this. Sorry about that, Jeff. I got to get on your subject. Okay. That's the other thing is I want to say that. Let's do the recognition on who's, because these people would be mad if I don't call their names. Where the activity, the TWC activity numbers. Yeah, this one. Let's call these people's name. Dan Gillingham has come alive for some reason. Maybe Dan. I hope you're listening. Dan has come alive and submitted 18,000 with 7 apps. He's part of Fitz's team. Chris and Courtney Long has submitted 17,000, and Billy Crane 17 apps for 14,000. Issue paid. Check this out. 13 people have issued over 10,000 this week. Starting with Sebastian Chambers. That's the new guy that Terry hired. By the way, Terry didn't hire him. I think he's 2 or 3 in depth. Jason and Tawny Carey. By the way, I didn't hire Jason and Tawny. They're direct to me, and they're really not even direct to me. A lot of people don't know they're under Chris Baldwin because they don't know Chris Baldwin. But Chris Baldwin is the one that's coming down to F&G. He didn't hire them. He hired somebody who hired somebody who hired them. Okay? It's almost like if I tell you how to get to my house in Union Ridge. It's not hard. I can tell you. I've been there 1,000 times. Like, I've done this stuff 1,000 times, but then when I talk to people, they're surprised. I'm like, don't be, this is normal. Okay? All right. Jera Gonzalez, for 11,000. Hired by Joe Dukes. Not really. He hired Jerry, who hired Jera. Okay? Justin and Sidney Bailick. You ought to hear that story. That is a guy gave somebody a list, and his name was Justin Miami because he met him in Miami, and then he called Justin, and Justin got involved. Billy Crane, Olga and Jason Mathis, Kyle Cater, to sit right back in the back, Robert Wilson, Chris and Courtney Long. Chris issue paid $12,900 this week. Terry Edwards. Did Terry hire you? He did? Well, you're his one. I wouldn't look for nobody else to do it. You know, we'll see. Terry, $16,000. Steve Memoritas, $22,000. Jake Krause and Bell Krause, $23,000. Megan Wood, back on top, where she belongs, $35,000 issue paid. Let's scroll down to annuity. Can I do it? Can't remember. I'm so used to doing Zoom now, because you do that Zoom, you can't slide it up. Okay, Kelly Haney, $270,000. James and Jane Hill, $249,000. Amaka Arizu, $240,000. Kyle and Janina Wilson, $159,000. Katrina Gustin, $158,000. Nice job on annuities. Top 3 foresters, Olga and Jason, Brian Rojas, and Noel Wilson. Strong foresters producers. Top recruiters, there's Joseph too. Remember I was calling his name earlier? 7 personal recruits by Joseph. If Joe too is listening, Joe, you're going to have to get depth, bro, or you're not. It's going to get frustrating. Does that make, like, I know it's going to get frustrating because it's very difficult to hire people and get them to do it. And so why does depth work? I don't know. I don't know how it. I'm not a physicist or a psychologist or sociologist. I'm just telling you, it's never worked like that for me. And Stephen Davies, all my top guys, same thing for them. None of them have got rich on somebody they hired. It's always been in depth. I'm boring you to death telling you that over and over again, but I want you to know it. Riddle has got 8. Riddle, you better be getting depth, buddy. He's leading the country in recruiting. Okay, let's do, what else do we want to do? Let's do the $10,000 challenge. Can you pull, or let's do that or the Rolex, whichever one of them pops up first. Okay. This t-shirt, do we have any, can we get one of those shirts, marketing team? No, we don't have them. We just ordered them. We can only show you a picture. These shirts are pretty cool. It's got 10,000 and it's got come hail or high water kind of inset in there. And then it's on the back, it says in 24/7 are you, and then it says you deserve nothing less. It's a cool t-shirt, and what we're trying to get people to understand is the goal is to issue pay 10,000 every single week. 10,000 a week. Have you did 10,000 a week yet? Nope. That's your first goal. Get 10,000 a week. We're going to give these shirts out once you've issue paid 10,000, even if it takes you a month or 2 months. We're going to send the shirt out. I think we got 200 of them. But the whole thing is get the messaging of $10,000 out. Now, once you hit 10,000 in a week, we're going to give you another cool setup. Let's do, can you pull up the power, the 10,000? Okay, so this week, Mike and Noel Leventovich, no, one more, go on down, because they didn't do it. They hired somebody. Here we go. Jason Molina issued 10,000. He actually issued 19,000. Paul Roberts' team. Dion, hey, I don't know how to say his name. Eggstein. My man right there, he got 10,000 issue paid. I don't know how to say his name. Sebastian Chambers got 11,000. And Mike and Noel Leventovich, if you'll tell me how to say that guy's name, you probably have done it before. So all these guys are going to get the 10,000 set up. Do we have that? Can we show that 10,000? You working on it? I want to show you what they get. So every time you issue pay in a week 10,000, we got this package for you. But we're just to keep it stirred up, we're going to start giving it to people that ain't even come close to doing. And it started September 1. So once you accumulate 10,000 issue paid since September 1, you'll get the black T-shirt. Okay. All right. Oh, you know, let's scroll back down. That's something I want to show you. I think. Yeah, here we go. So, first person since September 1 took 1 day to issue 10,000 was Katrina Guston. It took Kyle Cater 2 days to issue 10,000. It took Megan Wood 2 days to issue 10,000. It took Jason Molina 2 days, starting September 1. So all these people have issued 10,000. It took Billy Crane 7 days to get there. Kyle and Janina 7 days. It took Jared Gonzalez 5 days. So your name is going to pop on there for 10,000 issue paid and have a number, however many days it takes you to get 10,000 since September 1. Make sense? And all these people will be getting the black t-shirts. Okay, cool? I think it's cool. How about more fun, Rolex? Let's do the Rolex. Can you scroll up to the Rolex, Billy? I want to do it on time. It's next. Here we go. All right. We purchased 13 Rolex. We, as in Holly Davies, went out and found 13 Rolexes that were all manufactured when this company was started, which is 2002. So these are all 2002 vintage watches, Rolex watches. And we said, whoever's number one in points, and it's the same points as trip points, whoever's number one, they will get to walk up to all 13 Rolexes at our convention and pick out whichever one they want. The crazy thing is, there's one watch that costs as much as all the other watches. No, it's half. So the number one watch is half the value of all of these. So you add up all 13 watches, and the number one watch is worth half. So you don't have to pick that one, but we will say that one's, this watch right here with all the diamonds in it, it's the most expensive one there, but you pick any one you want. My guess is she'll pick the most expensive one unless Mark Hutchinson, who is 75,000 points behind, if he keeps turning it on, he's actually beat her a few weeks. So if he keeps winning, he could pick the first one. The most expensive watch is a lady's watch. So he would probably get that and give it to his cool wife who they just have another baby, or she's about to have another baby. And so Mark may get that watch for her. And then Katrina Guston is coming on pretty strong. She might pick that watch for her. Jane Hill could pick it for herself. Now here's the crazy thing. Once there's 13 picks, there's no more watches, so it just abruptly ends. So right now, Patzer's on track to get a watch, but Minerve is coming on strong behind. Terry Edwards is coming on strong behind, and Mia Fennell. Let's see who else is down there coming on. Mike and Michelle Alleman, Brandon Beal, Joe Dukes. So these are the 13 people that are going to get a watch. But we have, well, it's getting down close. September, October, November, December, and this contest is over with. So Brant Swindell, Robert Wilson is getting him. Robert's done this before. He's won a Rolex before. Junior Correa, Adam Johnson, Janina, Jonathan and Megan, Paul Menachino. All right, good deal. All right, thank you, Billy. Thank you, Tia. Is there anything else that I got to talk about on that? Because I want to get into this teaching that Jeff Bright worked so hard on. Okay. All right. Let's go to the slides for the TWC. Four reasons why. Okay, so here's what we're asking people to do. When we first started, we said, hey, you want to get rich? Hey, do you want to get rich, by the way, or you just want to make some money?
I want to get rich.
You do? Have you thought about it? Have you been thinking about it a long time? How old are you?
I'm 29.
29. When did you start thinking about getting rich?
About 18.
18 years old. You know anybody rich?
Negative. No.
I'm Andy Albright.
Nice to meet you.
Not that I'm rich, but I'm saying,
Oh.
you know, I'm doing all right. I'll introduce you to some other people that make a lot of money. But oh, thank you. You take that. Put that back up there. Hold this. So if you do 10,000 in a week, we're going to do power of 10. I got my 10,000 in. Okay? It's crazy. It's like this is what's weird. It's like I want to get rich, but we give you a t-shirt. It seems like you would think people would want to write 20,000 in a week or 30,000 to get rich. No, t-shirt. Get a t-shirt. You do 10,000 a week. Don't you want one, don't you? You haven't got one, have you? I'm gonna make her get a C in college if she keeps trying to get 10,000 production. She said, she said I told her what? Tell her what did I say? I told you.
You told me to get season checks.
Season checks. I probably did. Her mom and dad might get mad. I tell my wife, I said, these kids waste their time trying to get smart with all this stuff that these professors teach them, and I don't know. But she got a B the other day. She was upset. She called me. She said, I got a B. Actually, she was proud. She thought I'd be proud. And then I was like, you feel bad about it? She says, no, I issue paid $15,000 this month. So that was a good month. You get a t-shirt if you do 10,000 a week. And you get a congratulations card. And we send you this right here, which is what we do. And you get a pad portfolio with the power of 10,000 on it. You want one of these? Debbie Ben can show you how to get one of these. You want one of these? All right. You want one of these? It's easy. It's $10,000. Then you could carry it to meetings, and people are like, did you steal that, or did you write 10,000? Okay. I do think it's funny that we do T-shirts to help people get rich, but it's just that's just the way it works. Okay. All right. So the way we want you to do it is do 40 appointments a week minimum. So you can do 70 or 80 appointments. So when I was 27 is when I joined Amway, and they said that I could show the plan or recruit as many people as I wanted to, and I went absolutely crazy. And they would say, you get a t-shirt, and I'll be like, y'all are rude. I'll be like, I'm trying to get rich, y'all can give me a t-shirt. Because I was just working 24/7 trying to get what I wanted, right? Well, Jeff's a sociologist. He's smart, and he understands masses of people, what they do. And he said, people need to be told what to do. I was like, why don't we just find people that just want to get rich, and they will work their ass off? And he was like, they don't do that. I was like, why? And he was like, I don't know. And then I talked to one of my other rich friends, and he said, he's right. You need to tell them 40 appointments minimum. So we started saying 40 appointments minimum, and our production went up. And so the way we want you to do it is Mondays, you make phone calls, okay? And you book 20 appointments minimum. You start 7 in the morning, and you go till midnight if you have to. A lot of people get finished earlier, but you can stop after a minimum of 20. Now, if you're like me, you're just going to keep talking till your voice goes out. You call them midnight, you book 35 or 40 appointments for Tuesday and Wednesday. And then Thursday, you come back and you start that morning and you book appointments for Friday and Saturday. And I mean, a person who wants to go rich would be like, hey, can I work Sundays too? Sure. Okay. But for a person that's just following orders, we say you can take off Sunday. Well, what you really should do is get organized and strategize and train and get your mind right. You know, go to church, pray, read the Bible, listen to an audio by one of the Stanley boys or Chris Hill. By the way, did y'all know we had a doctor running President's Club now? Yes. Congratulations, Chris Hill, on your doctorate. Doctorate in pastoral theology. Congratulations. That's not easy to do. Okay, so Sundays you can take off. Does that make sense? So why do people not do 40? I told Jeff, I said, no, why they do it? Because they don't want to be rich. He says, no, that's what I mean. It's like there's more to it than that. Because I always just try to find, that's why I'm driving depth, because I'm trying to find somebody that ain't so hard to work with. Somebody I don't have to do all this stuff with. But it turns out, in America, there's a lot of people you have to do all this stuff with. So we put this package together telling you why people don't do it so that we can fix it, and then they start doing it. So flip to the next slide, please. I'll do it. Okay, we went over belief, and we can go, if it's your first time, we can go back and show you those slides. You can go back and look at the TWC. We did expectations. Like, some people just don't believe it's true, and I mean, training, lack of training. And then there's feedback and recognition. So the T-shirts is feedback and recognition. Another way to number 4 is coaching. And some people don't want to be coached, so you have to strategize on how to coach people. So I'm going to show you how to coach or give feedback and recognition. All right. Feedback is the breakfast of champions. The moral of this, we use the word recognition, appreciation, like it's the same thing, but it's really not. There's a big difference. Recognition is about giving feedback based on results. Appreciation is acknowledging them as a person. Like, you're a good person, you're a badass, you're a good person. That's appreciation. Recognition is based on what they did, not who they are. Okay? All right. So, feedback and recognition. There's 4 things that you should do to give feedback. Okay? It's coaching. Number 1, you want to ensure, you want to get the facts. Number 2, you want to ask a lot of questions. Number 3, you want to explain it. And number 4, you want to empower people. Okay? So when you're getting people, when you're dealing with the facts, it's funny how people are. They don't own it, like they deny it. But if you put it in front of them, thinking, like if I show you that you're ranked number 80 in the country or whatever, or number 120, and I'm showing like, come here, let me introduce you to the people that are kicking, like Megan Wood, for example. And I mean, I know people get tired of me putting Mark Hutchinson. I mean, goodness gracious, look what Mark's doing. You can do these numbers. Okay, so people they need to own their issues or own their numbers, meaning they accept them, they're factual. The way, when it says ask for permission, it's the way you're talking to people. I'll get into it a little bit more. Inquiring is asking, trying to get the person aware of what the situation is. Be careful that people don't feel attacked. Repeat what they said, you're summarizing what they said, so that a lot of this is just communication. Coaching is communication. Explaining things to people so that they realize what's going on, because a lot of people are just unaware, and you need to make them aware. And you need to do it in a way that it's impactful, a way that they remember it, a way that gets their attention. And then the last thing you really want to do is giving a person a reason to change, clarifying it for a person so that they can, so that they see the consequences. Okay? All right. So I'm going to talk you through this. and I'll show you one more slide, and I'm going to come back, and I'm going to hopefully make a lot more sense of this. So giving feedback and recognition, it's facts, asking questions, getting down into the details, explaining everything, introducing the power to people, and then removing any issues and just keep it going around and around. And, you know, Beth, what Terry used to do with you a lot when you were struggling a lot, when you were like really good one month and then you would be terrible for 2 months, remember this? And he would say, where's my mic? You got the mic. You remember this?
Yes.
You remember those talks he'd give to you?
Yes.
I'm going to try to show you the structure of what he was doing over and over again. Because he would call me and he would say, what am I supposed to do? I said, well, you talk to her. Talk to her. And he said, I already talked to her. I said, talk to her again. Remember that?
Yes.
And it helped, didn't it? But he's a very patient coaching man that cares about people. So if you have people that are not booking 40 appointments, it could be the expectation. It could be those other 4 things that I covered in the beginning. Okay, let me pop back and just say it could be one of these 4 things. Okay, so it could be their belief. They have a lack of belief. We'll go back and show you how to fix that. It could be your expectations, or you don't have high expectations. It could be your lack of ability to train, or it could be your feedback and ongoing recognition. So today we're hitting the ongoing recognition hard about how that works and how you're supposed to do it. Okay. Here we go. All right. So, have you won the Thailand cruise yet? You have not won. Are you on track to do it? Okay. All right. Let's see, who else is, where's it? Let me know. I'm going to kind of show you this is the way that on-back feedback. Y'all two stand up here. Come on here, if you don't mind. What's up, Gooderman? Stud, muffin you. Come on here with me. All right, tell everybody who you are, who you hired by.
I'm Tiffany Jones, and I was hired by Debbie Ben.
You're like everybody else, so you're not really hired by her, but that's who you work with, right? Right. Okay.
Anita Domingo, hired by James and Jane Hill.
Okay. Okay, so the first part, if I'm giving you, Tiffany, y'all come over here a little bit closer. If I'm giving you feedback, tip, and recognition, okay, the way that we do it, when you hire people, Chris, the PNC, y'all are President's Club, y'all are coaching people. The first thing you want to do is get the facts in front of them. So I do research, or basically I look your numbers up. So if I looked your numbers up, how far are you? Where are you on the Thailand? Yeah, keep the mic up to your mouth.
Like 60.
Come closer. There you go. Right, that's good. 60,000. Okay. Do you think that you could win?
Yes.
The trip?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So if we, who's got a calculator? Do a calculator. 60,000. Do 60,000 divided by 9. What is that? What's 60,000 divided by 9? Smart girl. You need a calculator, don't you? How much? 6,600. So you've done 60,000 so far. You need to, if you keep doing what you've been doing, you're going to get 7,000 a month. So that would be another 21,000. Will that get you to Thailand?
Yeah, it should be, right?
No, it won't.
Yes, it will.
How much you got to do to get to Thailand? 125,000. Right? Somebody scream at me. Am I wrong?
Yeah.
All right. Who can look up? Chris, can some of y'all look, see where she is on the leaderboard? Does this make sense to you?
Yeah.
Does this sound right?
Yes.
You think I'm crazy? I mean, no, you know I'm crazy.
Yeah,
But
it does sound right, what you're
okay.
saying.
Okay, so I want you to win. Okay? So you're going to need to do, is it 125,000? Yes. And there's some bonuses you're going to get too, right?
No.
For Thailand? No?
Well, unless you do like, I don't know what bonuses I would
You
get.
don't know any bonuses. Okay, so you're going to need to do about 30,000 a month, September, October. No, there's 4 months. So you would do 7, you'd have 28,000. That would give you 88,000 if you're at 60,000. Are you looking, can you look that up,
No,
Chris?
but I'm not at 60,000.
What are you at?
I'm at 40.
You're at 40,000.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you're at 40,000, you don't think you're going to win in Thailand, or do you?
A miracle.
If it's a miracle. That's right. Okay. So if this sounds like I'm not doing anything, I'm telling you this is what you got to do. Does this make sense? Do you want to win Thailand?
I do.
Okay. It's going to be a challenge. Here's what I would think. Have you, you didn't win the Alaskan Cruise, did you?
No.
Okay. You want to win it?
The Alaskan Cruise?
The Alaskan Cruise. That's the contest that's going to start January 1.
Yes, I do.
You do?
Yes.
Okay. This is not something I would recommend you do in front of everybody. You with me? So you'd be careful. You don't make somebody mad and cry, or they punch you in the face and knock your teeth out. Right? You don't want that to happen on Zoom,
No, you don't want that to happen.
live YouTube all over the country. You know. So for you to win it, you're going to need to do. Let's do 125,000 divided by 12. You're going to need to pay $10,400 a month. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So right now you're averaging like $3,000 a month. So you're going to have to go from $3,000 to $10,000 to get there. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. This is the first step. Jeff, you agree with that? Like it's she has to own it, because if you don't, people go like, I'm going to win the cruise. You're like, you're not going to win the cruise. Now you don't want to make them cry. Like, you're not going to win the cruise. You don't want to say, are you dumb? But you do want them to say, yeah, you got a point.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So now you own it, as opposed to arguing with me. And I'm good at asking questions and getting down to it. Or I could say, have you sold an annuity before? No. Okay. None. Okay, so your average on annuities is not good. Okay? So see how I nailed that down? 0?
Yeah.
And you're like, that's nothing. I go, people don't do that. They don't coach. They don't do feedback and recognition. Does this make sense? Kyle, tracking on this? They don't do that. They just la all over the place. Okay? Or it's, how do you describe it? They float. Like they don't get down in the dirt with people. And a lot of people say they don't know how to do it. And I go, and I'm like, it's not difficult stuff. And so what Jeff is saying is that people don't know what I do because I just do it natural. I don't do it natural. I was taught how to do this. You tracking on me, Gooseman? What is it they call you? Bump? What is the word? What's this? Who is he, Goodman? What's they call him? Pooh? Huh? What is it? Pookie. That's the word I'm looking for. Pookie. All right, Pookie. You paying attention to this?
That's not a good thing.
What? He don't look like a Pookie to you? You look
No.
just like a Pookie to me. Stand up. That's Pookie right there.
You don't like Pookie?
Huh?
No, you don't like Pookie. No. He's not a Pookie.
Okay, yeah, you get to know him. You know he's Pookie. He wants to come up here. You know that, right?
Yeah.
He wants to talk about when he almost got ate by an alligator on
God.
G5 Ranch.
He talks a lot. In a good way.
All right. Okay. So get down to the facts. All right. What's the next thing you're supposed to do? All right. A lot of people, when they coach, they feel like they're getting attacked, like somebody's upset with them, like they're mad at them. Okay? So by the way I'm doing it, asking questions, do you understand? Does that make sense? And I'm also real big on art of war, and that is a strategy. If like, let's say we're going to take over a city or a country, we would want to keep as many buildings standing up and as much of the infrastructure. We don't want to tear up everything. We just want to take it if we're going to go to war. Does that make sense? So one of the things you want to do is give people a way to get out without them getting killed. So I give her a way to get out by letting her win the Alaskan cruise, because she can't win this one. But if all I want to do is beat her up over that and then I kill her, what good is that? Does that make sense? I knock her out so she feels attacked. That's what I'm saying. I want her to not feel attacked. I want her to see an easy out where she's not destroyed. On the other hand, I want the facts that she ain't hitting the numbers, that she's ever going to get what she wants. Okay? Now, these are all kinds of scripts. So, you know the pattern. Monday, make phone calls. Tuesday and Wednesday. And the 40 appointments, right? If she was running 40 appointments, she would have already won the cruise. Can you give me a true that?
That's true.
Okay, that's close enough. Okay. You see, can y'all see how I'm walking through this strategy very deliberately? Here's what I would do. Now, this is what I wouldn't do in front of everybody. I would say, what's causing you to do less than you're supposed to do? I could ask you that. There's a different question if I ask a person why they're not running 40 appointments. Could you give her that mic? But if I said, you should be moving annuities. You agree with that?
Yes. Okay.
Do you know why you're not moving annuities?
I haven't been asking the right questions.
So what's wrong with you? You're not supposed to do that, by the way. But why are you not asking questions?
I don't have a good answer for that.
You don't have a good answer? Okay, so it could be training, it could be expectations, it could be belief. It could be one of the other three things. But this conversation is going to take me back to why is she not doing what she's supposed to be doing. So why is somebody not run 40 appointments a week? Why is somebody not moving annuities? Make sense? Why is somebody not getting referrals? Why is somebody booking 40 appointments and only having 16 people show up? Why is their show rate not correct? This is feedback and coaching that's not happening in a lot of places. Okay? All right. Mike, back. I can work with you on that annuity thing. I can fix that. Okay? And that's number 4. That's no problem. We fix that. No problem. That's empowering and telling her. Now, when I actually show her what to do and teach her, that is more empowering, but I'm giving her hope. But see, like what I wouldn't, if it was one-on-one, I would say, talk to me, girl. Like, what's up for the appointment thing? And she would say, well, blah, blah, blah. Okay? And I'll be like, oh, I see. Now, one reason could be she'd be like, I don't want to get rich. And I'm just trying to, enjoy my life, not do much, kind of coast. And I'd be like, okay. So then I might say something like, you ain't interested in retiring ever? You're not interested in going on a trip to Thailand? But see, she's told me she's want to go on a trip to Thailand, so we kind of nailed that one. We kind of busted her, so to speak. She got her in a bind. She's got to do that. She could say, I've got 16 children. What was that book? What was that person that lived in a shoe? Huh? Old Mother Hubbard. Did she have a lot of kids? Like 16 kids? Or something like that? I'll be like, 16 children. Well, let's talk about Strategies for babysitters. Where's your family live? Make sense? If she could say, you know I've been sick, right? You know, I had cancer. I'd be, I didn't know that. You know, your hair's not falling out. No, you look good. You don't look sickly. I didn't know. Well, how far are you along with the cancer treatment? Are we out of the woods, or are we just getting into it, right? So it's just, this makes sense. She could say, I don't know. I could be like, well, what do you do with your life? She said, you ain't going to believe it. I'm hooked on video games. I'm like, ooh, that's going to be hard, you know. You see what I'm saying? Like I'm going to coach her out of this problem. Now, what I don't want to get in is her personal business in front of everybody else. But I'm scared to get in her personal business if I'm coaching her and giving her feedback. Does that make sense? So it's not personal with the annuities, but it is personal because it's self-image, it's not asking the right questions. That don't make no sense, you not asking the right questions, because you're smart. Do you make notes for yourself? Have you ever tried a sticky note to remind yourself? You should take a sticky note. Just put on there, ask them about money. But you really don't supposed to ask them about money. Have you found, give her the mic back. She's got me tore up here. Have you found money?
Yes.
You just hadn't got them to move it.
Yes.
Who was the most you've ever found?
4 million.
4 million. Did you sell him an insurance policy?
Tried to, he was declined.
Got declined? They got $4 million? Does Chris Norris know about this money?
No.
Chris Norris, we have $4 million that's been located. Does your dad know about it?
Yes.
Okay. Does Gina Hawks know about it?
No.
Can we still contact this person?
We can try.
Where's he live?
Wilmington.
Wilmington. Why did he get declined?
Heart attack.
He had a heart attack? How old is he?
He is 70.
You got children? Does he have children?
Yes, 3 kids.
We should go back and hit this guy. We'll go for it. What's the next biggest one you found? Do you remember? So you're finding the money, you're just not moving it.
Yes.
Is that right?
Correct.
How often do you find money? Like, if you're in 10 houses, how many times is it like 1 house, 2 house, 6?
Probably 1 or 2.
1 or 2 out of 10 you find money. Has your dad has this conversation about not moving annuities?
A little bit, yes.
A little bit. Okay. So if Adam's listening, I would be saying this is what he needs to do more of. Make sense, Kyle? Like, see, we've got a human being that's very capable and they want to do it. He's got to coach her. Does this make sense, John? So you finally found one. Matter of fact, it took us 19 years to get her to the point where she is. That's forever. So her dad's been in business with me 28 years. And then he had her the mama. This is one of those. The mama had her 19 years ago, and we got her to this point. Does that make sense? Now we got to get her to the point that she can do annuities and move them. Does that make sense? So she needs feedback and coaching. So every week, if she's finding money every week, he should be doing his damnedest to get her to move that money, because, I mean, just estimate. If one guy had 4 million, let's throw that one out. That's an outlier. About how much other money have you found since you've been selling with us? Another million, or?
Probably $500,000 to $1
right,
million.
$500,000 to $1 million in that neighborhood. So we missed that opportunity through coaching and feedback. Does that make sense? Like, it's kind of boring or whatever, but it's what we got to do to get people where they need to be. Let's go pass over to Beth. Especially the personal part that I didn't get into her, but do you see how this worked with Terry?
Yes, I do see how it works.
Because he would just he'd build up the dream, he'd ask questions, he'd get the facts, he'd draw them out. Like, here's what people do, Trip. They'd be like, I'm frustrated, I'm not making any money. You go, well, how many appointments? Oh, well, I'm a lot. So let me see your notebook. You pull it out. They didn't run any this week. And you go you didn't run any this week. And they go but I did last week. Good, let's look at that. So we look at that, and they ran 6. And then you keep going back until you get back to where they were running 15 appointments or 20 appointments, and then they were making money. And you say, you see how this correlates? Remember this, Frank? And they'd be like, yeah, I'm not running as many appointments. So now they own the problem, right? And then you say, well, why not? And you go, my wife, she's been nagging me. And you'd be like, yeah, they'll do that sometimes, Are any good times? Yeah, some good times. Well, let me ask you this. When you ain't out there running appointments, is she nagging? Yeah. And when you run an appointment, she's nagging. Yeah. Well, see how it's not helping when you're not running appointments because you're getting a nagging anyway? Does that make sense? I know you ain't got a nagging wife, but you see what I'm saying is like you coach them through. You see what I'm saying? You're like, is she mad at you when you ain't working? Yeah. And she's mad at you when you are working. Right. Well, does this make sense? Does this help? Is this helping? This is helping without even me directly helping. Yeah. Oh God. Talk to me about your conversation with Debbie Ben. Do you get some of these conversations with Debbie?
She cusses me out a lot. Yeah.
She does what? She does what?
She fusses at me a lot. Yeah.
Did you say fusses or cusses?
A mixture of both.
So we should
Sorry, Deb.
Get you coached by Debbie Ben a little bit. See what happens then. Terry don't cuss. She's lying. Okay. Do you have any questions for me that I can? And I mean, obviously, it's a lot of people here, so you don't have to ask anything. But is there anything that you ask me that I can help you come closer to getting what you want? Do the mic up there.
Okay. How much money are you normally spending a week?
On leads.
On leads, yeah.
Do you mean how much should I spend?
Right. Correct.
Okay. That's a good question. Got another one?
Like, if you're running, like a lot of times, like if you're running multiple counties, how do you adjust your schedule and stuff like that?
So if I've got leads in Alamance County and Caswell County and Brunswick County, it's confusing. How am I going to get organized?
Yeah.
Makes sense? All right, that's a good one. What else?
Let's start with that.
Let's start with that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Anita Domingo.
Yes.
How are you doing?
I'm great. I'm glad to be here.
Did you just move or get settled or something just change in your life?
Yes, sir.
You did?
I have raised five children, and one of them is in the Air Force. They invited us to move with them in Charleston, South Carolina.
He invited you to move with them to Charleston, is that what you said?
Yeah, because my husband is on wheelchair bound,
Yeah.
so I do that. I take care of
So
him.
did y'all just move?
We've been there for a year and a half now, and
Did something else just finally happen and finally got settled?
yes, sir. Yeah.
What is that?
What Andy is that with that move, we was able to just start dreaming again.
So you started dreaming again?
Yes.
That's what just happened. Hey, Pookie, come up here a minute. Pookie, who is that guy in the red shirt back there? Take the mic.
I'm not sure. I haven't met you yet.
Ellenberg, what's up? Good to see you, man.
He's Ellenberg.
You sitting right beside him, you didn't ask him who he was, shake hands or nothing?
Not
What's
yet.
wrong with you?
Not yet.
God. This is not the way you're supposed to coach. Pookie,
Yes, sir.
you got your license yet?
Not yet.
What's the hold up?
A couple things I can't say.
All right.
The
Can you
mic
fix
said
it?
I can't say it.
Can you fix it?
Yes. And it's being fixed right now. It's already in the works. It's a money problem, and outside of getting the license, other things that's holding it up. All right, I'm not embarrassed. It's past things, guys.
No, don't tell it. Don't tell it. I don't care about it. All right. So what are you doing? What are you spending most of your time recruiting?
Right now, I've been recruiting and growing people while they're in the deal, especially people that are not financially able to get in the business right away with buying leads and going out and running it, getting them acclimated to running appointments, building the referrals, and getting
You think
them going.
you're doing all these 4 things right here that I'm
Absolutely.
talking about?
Whenever
You
I'm
think so?
Absolutely.
I think you're about halfway doing it. Gooderman, come up here a minute, if you don't mind. I said, wait a minute, am I supposed to keep you on low key? You can be on TV, right?
Right there.
Huh?
That's a goat right there.
That's a what?
The goat. Good.
Like a greatest of all time?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Because I called somebody goat the other day and they got mad. It was Jane. I was like, greatest of all time, baby. She was like, that's pretty quick of you to say that. And I was like, no, that's what I meant. You can see this happening, right? Gooderman, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you, man.
Doing great, sir.
What's been going on, brother?
Whole bunch.
Tell me something.
Just excited to be able to be back here and be home and make some things happen. We got a good group of people getting started. I expect fully to pass a lot of people in this organization.
Oh,
So
you ready to smoke some of these people?
that is the intent.
You just gave
and
them a heads up, so now it's not going to be a surprise.
Not here to surprise anybody. Just get work done.
Kyle, if you let him pass you, it's not going to be good. What's your group? How much did your group do last month?
If I could get National Life Group to report numbers accurately.
No, you can't.
Right?
You can't get them to report numbers.
No, it's I think last month total there's over 100,000.
Over 100,000
Yeah.
last month. Okay. All right. Y'all got this? Does this help a little bit? I don't know what helps more, the driving depth thing, the question and answer game. I'm going to mess with you on annuities. We're going to figure out how to move those annuities. Trip, it's finding out where the problems are by asking questions, and the way Jeff says it, it's researching the facts. My research is usually like ask them, like where are you, or I've got their information in front of me, and I start to take a calculator out, and I go like, how much money? And by the way, I would bet you've walked past $2 million in addition to the guy that had $4 million. I don't think it's 500 to $1 million. I don't know, but I'd have to do the research to find that out. But once we get her looking at the facts, now she owns it. Then we start asking questions like, should you be able to move it? People, we start talking about other people that are moving the annuities that you're as smart or as good as they are. And then you tell me, is this going to help you get where you're going? In other words, you got to talk them through it, not attacking them, but we got to fix this because it's your dreams and your goals that we're trying to hit, and you talk about doing it. Okay, these questions she asked about leads is a good part, okay? But I don't get sucked into those too much because, I would coach her through it, but I'm going to keep asking questions, and that's another big thing, Jeff, is they'll get you talking about where the leads and how much you spend when that ain't the issue. It's how many phone calls, you know what I mean, Beth? It's a lot of times it's a personal issue that people are dealing with, and then you help get them out of that personal issue, and then you start saying, look, like I'm telling you, Debbie Ben says you can do it. And I would say this to her, I'd say, you tell me what's the number one thing Debbie Ben's cussing you out about. That is the number one problem she's got, is what she's screaming about. Does that make sense? But people don't want to talk about that issue. That right? You're
on point.
Oh, I know I am. Because the questions you asked were not what Debbie Ben's cussing about. Does that make sense? And so I would say what she's cussing about, I agree with Debbie. I think you're very capable of doing it. Let's talk about what the problem is, and then let's shake it loose like a car that was stuck. We'll get some leverage in there. We'll get some psychology going on. We'll get you mad and get you excited about the future, and let's get out of this stuck place and get going. And Terry Edwards did that so many times to Beth that now she's just a steady $15,000 to $30,000 production every month. Hey, are you interested in getting up to $10,000 a week?
Yes, I am.
Because then we see, then we take that and we say, all right, here's what you got to do to get there. All right. Now, depth nationwide. If we're going to get managers, we're going to have to drive depth. No longer, we can't just hire people and expect them to do it. We got to get underneath them because that's where the people are going to be successful. Make sense? I am headed back. Jeff, did I leave out anything? Anything big? Good? Guys, I hope this is helpful. Enjoyed talking to you guys. I look forward, I'm going to chat with you guys some more. I got some extra time. But thank you, TWC. Love y'all. Out. See you. Bye. Woohoo!